And we are recording. Alrighty, hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the stream. It is a wonderful June 16th. Thankfully, the storm has passed, and it seems like there was no flooding. There was lots of flooding on social media, but it appears that almost all of it was from previous floods in the city in 2020 and I think 2013. Yeah, 2013 was the last flood, proper one. And yeah, everything turned out fine. Also, I have two corrections to issue from last stream. Oh crap, I only remember the first one. The first one was yesterday. I talked about the life of solar panels being 10 to 15 years. I have no idea where I got that from. I think, on retrospect, it was maybe Sagar and Jetty from Breaking Points, but I could be wrong. It could be from a lot of places. The average life of a solar panel is 25 to 30 years. And, crap. Maybe the second one will come to me later. Maybe we'll do it another day on stream. But I'm going to, try and issue corrections on the stream as they come up. Anyway, today we are going to be finishing our Tim Pool Vaush stream. We're not going to be finishing the video, as you can see. I've been going at a clip of, what is it? 1/2 hour for every hour? I think around that. Yeah, that is, I don't know how many parts that is. An hour is 240 minutes. Sorry, 4 hours is 240 minutes. That's rough. 240 minutes times 2, 480 minutes. 480, that's 8 hours. I could have just doubled it. Oh my goodness. I could have just doubled it. Anyway, we're here. We're back on stream. We're gonna react to Washington Pool, and yeah, I think we're gonna try and go for 90 minutes. Maybe I'll come back to this later. I think we need to see some Vaush debate, and then I think we will be done with Vaush. Yeah, it's not like I'm hitting my limit, but I want to move on to other things. I want to stream react political content, other things. By the way, if you're interested in other content that I make politically, please check out the coverage that I did yesterday of the Lindsey Graham Bernie Sanders debate. I think that went really well. I really appreciate it if you check it out. Alrighty, without further ado, let's get back into the stream.
Person the impression.
Oh, also, I hope you're having a wonderful day.
And that these cities are actually collapsing, which is of course not true. I've been to Portland.
But have you seen all these small towns that have those problems that are struggling to recover because like when you have a small town, Michael Tracy traveled to these places, journalist. He went around to a bunch of small.
I've been to Portland in 2019 and 2020, and I would maybe 2021. I would describe the state of Portland 2019 as dilapidated. Compared to Portland was 2021 as dilapidated to 2019, but not destroyed.
Small towns that people didn't care about or know about because they're not going to get national coverage. Mm-hmm. And they had widespread lootings and were putting things on their doors like, we support Black Lives Matter.
Oh, can we get captains?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we can't get captains.
That's terrible.
But their recovery is...
Oh, and how are the levels?
It's not
they seem good.
Because they're a small town that money doesn't exist.
Right, but I mean, there is...
Portland is not a small town. Really?
We support Black Lives Matter. Please don't hurt us.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
I think that's terrible.
But their recovery is like it's not going to happen because they're a small town that money doesn't exist.
Right, but I mean, there is nothing I would propose that wouldn't try to solve that. I mean, the death of small town America has been one of...
Oh, sorry. I'm going to apologize for swearing, but I actually swear a lot on the stream. If you want to watch me swear a lot, please tune in to yesterday's stream at Bernie Sanders with Lindsey Graham. Portland only has 650,000 people in it. I didn't know that. I would have figured that Portland probably had 1.2 or 1.5 million people in it, but there you go. Cool.
One of the greatest demographic crises that we don't even care.
Got to be worried of my facts on stream now after yesterday.
About small town America anymore in anything other than a folksy aphorism we can use to drum up voters. When it comes to actual investment, we don't do anything about these communities. And the way our businesses consolidate makes it easier and easier for everyone to just live in big cities.
Yep.
I live in a big city. I like living in a big city. I would like it if people could choose between that and a rural life without knowing
Is that better?
They will have
we're still
opportunities in the latter, or at least severely hampered opportunities. But with regards to that, like we support BLM, please don't loot us. Looting's illegal. I'm not defending looting, or I don't think most BLM people are defending looting. You just said,
there's a book called In Defense of Looting, and I think it was the New Republic?
Did Biden write it?
No. It was written by I think it was a trans activist, Black Lives Matter, and this is coming from an article that may have been,
Classic Tim.
I think it's the New Republic, but this is all stems for where I started getting more upset with this level of activism because I've been covering civil unrest.
But that's not broadly representative, you know. You said it yourself, those two, like, black women trying to keep the two white people from spray painting. When I see videos of these protests, one of the first things they teach you, if you protest consistently, and I used to protest more before I decided I hated going outside and that I didn't like being...
I've never been to a political protest, I have to say. I think it's kind of a little bit embarrassing for someone who pays attention to politics so much, but can't ever say I have.
Sunburnt, was that you want to minimize negative engagement with the community that you're in. Looting, arson, tagging, these things, the definition of negatively affecting the community.
But they defend it.
Well, who? Because people keep saying they defended a book or a
Activists.
columnist. Sure, some activists.
Media calling it peaceful over and over again. I mean, there's like memes.
Most of the protests were peaceful, though, like a vast majority of them.
But what does that mean, most?
Well,
Like, that's the joke we make, mostly peaceful.
97%, 93%.
93?
so it's 9. Well, but there's and that's a tricky statistic too, because at 7% of all the BLM rallies, there was violence. Who started that violence? Now, you're based in Copphill, I know. You know, cops will regularly.
Based in
initiate
Copphill, that was
violence
funny.
against
Oh wow, we already have someone on stream. Well, thanks for tuning in. How's your day going? Where are you tuning in from? I imagine you're probably one of my followers if you're tuning in the first 5 minutes. But anyway, I'm glad you're here. I wanted to say something, but I just wanted to welcome whoever just tuned in. Crap. I'll rewind 10 seconds.
all the BLM rallies, there was violence. Who started that violence?
They-
Now, you're
Oh yeah, I was gonna say what I said last time, which is that I think I got the citation a couple of days ago from the Foundation for Economic Education. The total cost to local government, municipal governments, I think in insurance claims, were $2 billion. That was their citation for the most expensive public damage in United States history compared to the LA riots, the assassination. Okay, ever since presumably they've been collecting into the incidents of public insurance. I don't know. Anyway, that's where I got that citation from.
based in Copphill, I know, cops will regularly initiate violence against protesters, either by putting one of their own amongst their rank, throwing a rock, and then using it as justification, or by just starting themselves. We have plenty of video and data-based evidence to defend that.
But that's not enough to indict the officers in specific places.
No. But I'm just saying,
And so
only 7% of these protests had violence, but we don't know how much of that was actually protester-initiated violence. And even of those that were, how much of it was like one or two guys? We don't know. Most of these protests
There was an unacceptable amount of violence all over the BLM protests, I think.
were peaceful. The data on that is very clear.
Well, that's fine.
We're arguing
Can we just say right principles, wrong execution?
over margins.
No, then if that's the case, why is it so difficult for anyone to come out and be like, screw those guys?
I don't think it is. I see that all the time amongst the left. Usually you have these hyper-woke 18-year-olds who have never been to a protest in their life who will say, yeah, arson, yeah, you're showing the system. No. And there was more of that at the very beginning with Minneapolis because people were very...
I think we should just
right
skip
after
past
the
this.
rifle.
Vaush
I think
doesn't really
it's been
speak to these people.
Interactions with people, and I'm sure people in the audience who are watching can absolutely understand this. How many conversations have you had where someone says it's righteous anger, or you don't understand their anger?
I wish
I
there were
recently had a
chapters.
conversation with someone where you are pro. Minneapolis, for example, there were several stories.
Still talking about Minneapolis. 5 minutes ahead.
Place and
I'd just like to move on to a different topic. I think we've been on this for, I don't know. I think we've been on this for 2 episodes. Let's move on.
Yes, every time I stream of
That means,
in
have possibly the most, yeah.
so
It's just,
you're getting off on this one. We got to go back to the initial claim you made and where I'm going with this.
Sure.
When I said that if Biden wins, and I don't know the
Okay, here we
exact
go.
quote.
I'll go back another 5 minutes.
They're changing the definitions, which they've already been doing. One of these stories.
Are they?
I'm
Oh, wait.
like,
Oh, I don't know what
dude
we're talking about.
throwing
Let's
a
go.
brick at the head of a cop is not a demonstrator
Now,
or a protester.
Here's
We're
where
still
I
here.
have to turn this on you, okay? So I assume you and I have similar goals when it comes to class, race-based justice. You don't like redlining. Good. I'm glad we don't have to
Good,
argue
yeah.
on that.
Right.
But you seem very concerned about the inaccuracies in the way that the left-leaning media has covered this. And I've seen this on your channel too. Many videos pertaining to that general trend. I see none of it with regards to how the right miscovers these.
How many
Because-
views does the right get?
Views?
Like how
This
big
is a weird
how big
dodge.
is right-wing media versus left-wing media?
The
Come
right-wing
on.
media is absolutely larger.
Have you
or
looked at the
equivalent.
actual data on that?
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
half.
if you, I mean, it depends on what your metric is for left leaning. There are some
That's not a very good excuse.
like like neutral leaning. Like I don't consider CNN to be left by any metric, for example. But
They're
some people throw it in.
anti-Trump, and
I think-
Cuomo specifically said, "Since when do protests have to be peaceful?"
I think that well, that's a true statement. There have
So,
been
I mean,
many
that's definitely
non-peaceful.
left.
No, there have been plenty of non-peaceful protests. Some of them led by right-leaning people in the history of this country. Protest does not inherently mean peaceful. And also,
The point I'm making there is that he's clearly on the side of the unrest.
I don't think being anti-Trump makes you left-leaning. I think that just makes you a fan
Being anti-peaceful protest does inherently make you pro-unrest. Come on.
of human decency and life on this planet.
In terms of how the media covers what's going on,
But
CNN's on clearly one side.
I think that CNN is at best neutral. They are absolutely not on my
What?
side. But when it
Come on. I mean, okay, he doesn't mean he doesn't. I don't think he means neutral in like a. Does he? I don't. He doesn't mean neutral in like a true neutral way, right? I don't even know what he means neutral by. That was a really weird thing to say.
this. Again, you have an enormous media platform. We have people like the President of the United States saying that Black Lives Matter people, they aren't American, they hate America, they want to destroy it. This is up to the presidency of the United States. Right-leaning media, you think the left-leaning media has been inaccurate in their coverage of these issues. The right-leaning media is insane
The president shouldn't say that, by the way.
when it comes
Who
talking-
and what?
Sorry, I just had a quick question.
Huh?
So I really wanted to ask you. One of the things that you mentioned was that you did not like Michael Tracy's coverage of these small cities.
Mhm.
Oh, we're still
And I
here.
wanted to loop back a little bit because we are still talking about riots, and we're going to go to super chats maybe eventually. And I wanted to ask, what was your issue with Michael Tracy's coverage, and why did you think that he was unfair in his representation?
I have no idea who Michael Tracy. I'm just gonna skip ahead another 5 minutes. 127 now.
Specialized element of critical theory. That is to say,
Still talking about race. Gonna skip it to 130.
Can be racist. Racism is
Still
privilege
gonna
plus
skip to
power.
135.
way. I know
Like I
everyone-
said, if you want to see us talk about BLM and more racial politics in America, please go watch the previous Streamer episodes. I hate talking about racial politics in America. It's one of my least favorite topics to discuss.
bring up Godwin's law. This is how it was done in Nazi Germany too. When book burning started to take place, they didn't just say, let's burn everything progressive. They would say, this specific ideology is...
I'm not sure if we should rewind for the for Godwin's law there. Let's just keep going.
Wait. So in either case, there's a quote that I'm wonderfully fond of, and it's, if one considers himself a defender of human freedom, he must regrettably spend his time defending scoundrels, because it is against scoundrels which authoritarianism is first aimed, and if it is to be stopped, it must be stopped at its beginning.
Yes.
When it even came to...
Do you agree with that, Vaush? I don't think Vaush agrees with. I don't know if Vaush agrees with that resolution. Vaush doesn't really seem like a free speech absolutist to me, but I haven't really heard Vaush speak a lot about free speech.
Just using it because it's a clear-cut example. When it came to the types of literature they decided to burn, they didn't just say, oh, everything progressive, anti-racist, everything Jewish, let's burn that. They would say, oh, well, this is child abuse, but it was everything research about gay people. And if you use very specific problems to defend the dissolution of information on a broader topic, you're participating in authoritarian apologia.
So yes, but I think you're talking about something else. So we can break this down. First, if Trump went so far as to ban universities teaching critical race theory,
I'm going to turn us both up.
serious
I know, I'm
problem.
just going to turn him up.
I've seen people complain that there was like I can't remember what it was. I think it was West Point. I did a class on like queer theory, and people complained about it, and I'm like, why are you complaining about a class on something? If people want to go and learn about it, they should learn about it, and they go to university for it. The actions being taken that I have issue with, that I can only specifically cite, was Trump saying these specific trainings violate the law. Now, I think it's fair to say Trump didn't know what he was talking about. That's easy. He couldn't even answer on the debate stage, and a lot of people complained about that.
But if they violated the law, he wouldn't need to create any new laws to get rid of them.
He didn't. It was an
Sorry,
executive
folks,
order.
that could have been
An
bad.
executive order is a function of the law, no?
So it's the
Not sure what laws they're referring to. I'm just going to keep
president
letting it
saying,
playing,
"Do
though.
this."
It sounds like
Well, yeah, but
critical
it's
race
enforceable.
They took critical race theory and used it as an excuse to create ridiculously racist functions, and then they're just so instead
And
of
then
Trump
they're
saying,
called-
"Hey, get rid of those functions, don't do that again," he's getting rid of the theory that was used.
No.
That's what it sounds like.
So that part of the argument is
Or he's
well
trying
beyond what
to.
we're actually talking about. That's why I'm saying
Classic Ian.
if Trump went so far, and that we'd have to pull up, I would agree with you. Trump should not ban knowledge or theory. But if Trump is saying the government is engaging in trainings that teach this thing to employees, and those things are violations of Title VII, we can't legally do those things.
Is white is the idea that white people are inherently racist a critical race theory idea?
I think that most critical race theorists would argue that everybody carries with them racial biases, whether you're black or white. I think any academic who would say that only white people carry with them internalized biases is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, we used to talk about we have comfort biases. So whatever you're comfortable with is what you're if you're not familiar, like familiarity biases. So
Oh, Ian finished his lemon water.
if a white person was
Maybe he's calmed down.
born in a black neighborhood, they'd be familiar with the black people,
yeah, and white people,
not the white people.
White people, by the way, who are
He seems pretty intense, though, if you look at that stare.
born in like inner city kind of like black areas tend to develop the same cultural affectations as black people when it comes to relationships with the police or other institutions like that. It's not about white people bad, black people good, or anything like that. Even though some of these sessions, I've seen them, some of them seem horribly cringy and ham-fisted attempts by managers to try to fit some sort of nouveau standard of, woke training. The fundamental idea here, at least for most critical race theorists, I imagine, is just simply we have to recognize these biases are inside of us, not just race, any type of
Oh my
inclination.
goodness. Come on. Should I just skip to 2 hours?
That's
What are we
slaves,
talking about?
man,
Yeah.
to the
Well,
banking system that
this
wants
is-
interest.
That's a great point. These cities that have the problems of police brutality, the places where these individuals trade, and the issue I take with schools, for instance, is that when they have problems, we just dump more money into it, as if a general investment fixes it. The problem, though, is we say, okay, what about review boards? What if we have like a review of the expenditures?
Okay.
Nobody
You
wants to
know
be the
what?
person to
I
do a
think we're just going to pick a
job
different
or
video
to-
here.
to gut the schools. And then
Let's
when
see.
people
What's next
actually
on the
do, they
list?
complain the schools
Listen
are
to
being run.
that.
If the school isn't functioning properly,
Hmm.
and I shouldn't say school, just government spending in general, what we tend to see, like in Chicago, for instance, is you get a wound. This is a way to describe it. You get a wound in your society
Okay.
where you have people who are suffering.
I wanted to end on a more positive, good faith note with Vaush, but they cannot shut up about the same topic. And we've been going for 16 minutes, and we did this for like 2 hours or 2.5 hours last time. So not last time, 2 times, well, like 3 times ago and the time before that. Jeez, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop trying to be so specific on last time and just say before on stream. Okay, I think I got a video for us here. Oops, yes, to be. There we go.
Ramble about how
Got that for 10 minutes. So then, the pre-watch. Alrighty. Here we go, folks. Am I gonna cut this? I'll just change the stream title to Vaush Debate finale. And thanks for your patience, folks. So like I said, yeah, I would have preferred to end on something better faith. We are still gonna have to watch a proper Vaush debate later, but this is obviously gonna be a lot harsher than something like Tin Pool. Yeah, these two have some real beef. I'm not exactly sure where it originates from. I would love someone to explain it to me. Usually when we end up watching Destiny and Vaush on stream, we get one of the two people to to give us a little context. All right, we've been going for 18 minutes so far. Yeah, I'm sorry that we had to subject ourselves to all of that. Seemed kind of unnecessary, but let's move on. Also, I think you can already tell I'm a little bit more tired than I usually am. We're gonna go for maybe 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours. Then I think I'll get some dinner and maybe come back and play some video games. Yeah, I'm just gonna say what I said before. I'll be having a wonderful day, and yeah, let's get into it.
in chat. Posted by user wannabe_sad boy. The effort post boy.
How are the levels?
Hey, my duders.
Are we good? Oh, I'm turning this down.
I wanted to make a post to kind of just discuss my feelings on former DGGer for
How's
life,
that?
Vaush.
Okay, I think it's pretty
It's
good.
one of the first times I've made a post like this with actual legitimate feelings of disappointment. However, with recent events happening, such as Destiny's ban and his reaction to them, including the DGGer purge from Vaush's sub, which finally...
This was recorded on April 6, 2022. And this was posted... We could see when this was posted a second ago, couldn't we? This was posted 13 hours ago. Okay, well,
The
13
effort
hours ago
post
on April
we.
10th?
Hey, my duders.
April 6th.
I wanted to make a post to kind of just discuss my feelings on former DGGer for life, Vaush. It's one of the first times I've made a post like this with actual legitimate feelings of disappointment. However, with recent events happening, such as Destiny's ban and his
I'm
reaction.
not really a Redditor, by the way. I have to admit, I am on Wall Street Bets. I'm on the Calgary subreddit, and I'm on the UCalgary subreddit. I think that's about it.
Reaction to them, including the DGGer purge from Vaush.
I do occasionally still see long paragraphs like this, although, this will be nowhere close. Also, no personal attacks, it says right there.
Which finally hit me, LeMayo. I felt like it was time to make this post. I was someone who knew Vaush when he was Irish Laddie, a member of Destiny's community. I'm not going to
wow, we are really getting into the streamer lore.
What I knew of him back then was not great.
Excuse me.
And I thought of him as a bit of a lol cow.
What the fuck is a lol cow?
And a bit of a wannabe Destiny. Particular things that stood out in my mind from that period was him telling conservative DGGer X-Skills-Me that in Vaush's ideal society, he'd have X-Skills-Me executed. And the sex pest drama, including things like him talking about his love for horsecock and shit like that.
I've been beta testing.
Why would you not be signed up when you could go to Surfshark?
Skip. Do not. I mean, you could sign up for Surfshark with coupon code.
Security. Do it for your privacy.
Are we gonna get the coupon code?
And do it so that you can access your content anywhere in the world.
Okay.
Oh, I'm really such a free trading capitalist that I actually let Destiny pitch you that Surfshark ad for. I was looking for the last 10-second coupon code hook, but we didn't get it. But hey, we are watching some Destiny content here, and if he's gonna pitch his ad a little bit, then maybe for the purposes of fair use, he should get to pitch his ad a little bit on the stream.
In the back.
Why didn't you link to the timestamp? Why didn't you link to the timestamp?
I think something good about this video is that
done. Also Irish Laddie talks for 20 minutes straight. Also Irish Laddie interrupts X-Skills-Me constantly. Also Irish Laddie bulldozes X-Skills-Me and Destiny constantly. I'll summarize, and somebody can call me out if I'm lying. Everything I'm lying. So at some point in this debate, I think Irish Laddie essentially says, in my ideal society, people like X-Skills-Me would be executed for the political positions that they hold. And X-Skills-Me's political position is he's just like a bog standard conservative, basically. That was the what was going on. And I think he says it multiple times throughout the video. But Irish Laddie is Vaush. Yes, correct. For those that don't know, he came from my community like 10 years ago. He's been in my community for a long time.
10 years? That can't be right. Has he really been going for 10 years?
However,
created 2008, this subreddit, right? This not, yeah. Wow. 14 years of r/Destiny. That's crazy. How old is Reddit?
even with all this, I was glad when he started his own independent streaming career. I was upset when he got banned for the Glass Israel shit. Wait, we have a timestamp.
We're coming into this with him basically saying he would kill me under his political system.
Okay,
given that,
Yeah, see, something this video had a lot of receipts. I think I remember that whenever there's a link or something that Destiny can't find, I think that he actually went back. Yeah, because this is the Destiny post. I think that he actually went back and added in proper timestamps, and I think we just waited here because the one came up later in stream. When was it Streamer Lore Part 1? There was somewhere in there where I was gonna say I had literally heard Vaush advocate for killing conservatives for sport on stream when he said that I can't remember. Now I don't know the context for what I mentioned in Streamer Lore Part 1. Maybe if I really have the wherewithal and a little bit of spite, I'll go back and edit those two clips together. Show you.
Okay. All right. Okay. For one, I didn't say I would do it. I'm lazy.
But I'm glad we finally are about to present the evidence. Like, seriously, Vaush advocates for an egalitarian political debate, and this is what he thinks of his opponent.
But would you be killed generally? Ooh, I don't know. You make a solid case every time you open your mouth. Yeah, I'm not ashamed of that statement at all.
right, but here's the problem is that I'm having a serious discussion here. I really believe capitalism is the best system for what you claim to care about. And here you are saying people like me get murdered. Like, why would I...
Okay, we've gotten pretty non sequitur now. Okay, chill.
It's not a non sequitur. He says I don't understand his ideology now, but he's advocated for actually having me murdered. So
Well, but if his ideology would say that people like you are exploitive. Fuck! I'm running so much defense for Irish Laddie here. He wasn't as good at arguing yet, so I think I had to reform a lot of his
Dude, I should have just shut up there and let Vaush say that.
Points to make them a little bit more coherent, a little bit more charitable. To such a level that
Jesus,
it's
that was fucking nasty. That was nasty.
enforcing inherently immoral applications onto society or whatever, then I mean his thing would logically
I
follow,
understand,
right?
but, like, don't say that like I'm.
Also, fucking present Destiny is right here. That fucking past Destiny is playing way too much cover. Oh wait, you can't see you can't see Pat. Oh, gotta stop doing that. You can't see past Destiny here, folks. There we go. Move myself into the bottom left. Is that, yeah, that's where he is right now, right? Oh yeah, okay. I'm glad I caught that.
I'm strawmanning his worldview, and his worldview includes the execution of me. So don't I have some right to automatically
you haven't strawmanned me in that regard. No, I expect you to act in your own personal interest, which is to defend capitalism to your dying breath. I don't fault you for that. But what I do fault you for, however, is acting as though you're mounting the substantive critique of my ideology when we haven't even begun to discuss what sort of alternatives I would offer to the problems posed by capitalism.
Well, I know what entails killing.
Dude, motherfucker! How many hours have we been with you, Vaush, and I have not heard you accurately explicate your alternatives to capitalism? Are you like some socialist shaman that just like keeps this secret knowledge and only reveals it to the chosen few? What the fuck, dude? Come on! I think I had totally given Vaush enough good faith. Time to... we literally, the first 3 episodes, I think, of stream were or at least the first 2 were literally just dedicated to Vaush talking specifically about his ideology and political theory. And we never got how he wants to transition from capitalism to his version of socialism, which really seems like anarcho-syndicalism, except he doesn't identify as an anarcho-syndicalist. He primarily identifies as a libertarian socialist, which is a contradiction in terms that we can get into later. Jeez. Oh, I said I was a little bit tired before, but clearly, I had fired myself back up, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Me. So what else would you? After you kill me,
No,
what would happen, Irish lady?
killing you would be for fun, okay?
Ooh.
What would happen after I get
Surprise.
murdered?
I'm sorry, you're right. I should tone it down.
Damn.
See. All right, let's dial it back a bit. You know what?
I wouldn't be the person that kills you 2 minutes ago, but also, the person who would kill you would do it for sport if it wasn't me.
We can roll it back a little bit, okay? So here's a problem I think exists. I don't think people get to make free decisions of.
Okay. Anyway,
That was fucking nasty. That's nasty.
I was glad when I started to saw Vaush have some success on YouTube, especially at the beginning of Destiny's lefty arc. It was cool to see Vaush going against conservatives, and as someone who would consider himself to be the left of Destiny, although still a suck.
Oh, whoa, what is the sex pest drama? Someone in this exact stream used the word sex pest. I think it's previously on stream. I'm not going to look it up, but clearly there's something there.
It was cool to see a more left-leaning voice that seemed to
That was a weird term. I think I mentioned it, that it was weird when he said it.
at least be more measured and capable of good debate.
I'm going to stop looking at New York Times notifications on stream, guys. My bad.
2 hours and 20 minutes for the other execution mention. We only need 1. We're good. Okay.
How does it come back to the United States?
Oh yeah,
before
see,
it goes-
look, see, Destiny went back after on stream to get all the receipts. That's so nice out. These two fucking hate each other. I would really love. Is there like maybe the Vaush Dream Lord finale will be like, I don't know. There's certainly a video essay on what happened between these two, right?
Gonna start buying up businesses here. Like, how does that money come back to us?
Well, this is the tough part. This is the part I can't talk with X skills me because this is where the guns come out. You know.
Wait, so we would have to go to war to enforce our system on other people, or?
Oh no. Sorry. To clarify, we would not have to go to war with others. We would have to say it politely, incentivize corporations currently stationed in the United States to keep them from fleeing to other nations.
No. Hold on, wait. I just want to nail this point down, okay? Because this is an actual conversation without you guys talking about each other, okay? So,
What the fuck? Okay, we don't have the context. We don't have the context for that statement, but didn't that sound a lot like Vaush was like arguing for an armed revolution in which we can turn captions on. You're welcome, folks. An armed revolution in which corporations are held at gunpoint from moving their wealth to more liberal countries with better property laws?
if we were to bring all of our supply chains back to the United States, stop engaging in foreign trade in the current ways that we do, our products would become...
We wouldn't have to stop that.
Wait, you're talking about becoming a fully self-sufficient country, so you're talking...
No, I didn't. I'm very sorry if I
Okay.
implied that. But what I mean to
Ooh.
say is during the transition to socialism, there will be a period of economic upheaval that will disrupt our trade relations. But
Okay,
should
okay,
by
okay,
no
okay.
means
So
cut
let's
them off.
let's ignore what I just said then. If we were to focus on ethics over profit or over
So perhaps Vaush was not arguing for autarky by gunpoint, which, be impressive. It'd be impressive for Vaush to argue for that.
economic well-being, eventually other countries would become much more competitive than us in regards to trade, and it would hurt our export market significantly. When we start to experience the economic pains of that, of not being able to export products to other people and whatnot.
Oh, by the way, I've tried to be like a little bit of a Destiny watcher to like prep myself. I think we're going to be doing Hassan next, but like prep myself for watching like Destiny stream a lot proper. And something that really irritates me about him is that he doesn't. Okay, I have tuned in, I think 6 times maybe. And I've watched a bunch of Destiny YouTube videos, and he doesn't freaking pay his full attention to the videos. He's always playing like Factorio or RimWorld or I don't know what the fuck this game is, instead of giving his full attention to whatever he's watching. It's kind of disrespectful.
What do we just eat those economic losses and hope that we can
He said we confiscate the property, we execute people who don't obey.
Whoa. I mean, I probably will say that, but I haven't said that yet. So
you
let's
did. You did say that. Though. You said,
no. We'll get to the explosive finale down the road. Okay. Yes, Stephen, one of the unfortunate truths of being a socialist is you have to accept that your nation will not get to enjoy the skyrocket GDP growth that capitalist nations get to enjoy. There is going to be a sacrifice of some economic efficiency to the benefit of hopefully making life better for everybody. Now, does that leave us open?
I appreciate the socialists who admit that, by the way. I think that's the first time we've heard Vaush admit that capitalism is more economically efficient than socialism. And I appreciate it. I think that good faith socialists usually have to concede that capitalism is more productive and more efficient than socialism, but not necessarily more equitable. And I'm glad that Vaush is willing to concede that in this debate. Except, he is about to apparently argue for the execution or murder of his political opponents. So maybe we shouldn't give him too much credit.
To being slowly economically consumed by other nations that don't have our same, ethical standards? Absolutely it does. That's why I'm glad I live in the United States of America with the world's strongest military that could defend itself if necessary. I would like to see a socialist cascade, because and pardon me for dreaming here, but as we go socialist and we no longer exploit developing nations, the socialist movements that have been growing in fervor in those countries since the Soviet Union took rise would hopefully have a little bit more leeway to flex, because they aren't being stymied by American corporations going over there and funding their people to beat them into submission. Hopefully America going socialist would have a cascading effect, and within, I'm going to be optimistic, a century, we could see something comparable in most of the nations of the world. Is it risky? Yes. Are we all going to die anyway? Yes. I think it's worthwhile.
That's a whole
Was that
lot
an
of...
answer? I'm not trying to just jerk off.
It's just theory crafting. Like you might as well be describing like Middle Earth policy or something.
This is no. I answered Steven's question.
No. So I understand your answer, and this is gonna make you maybe kill yourself.
I don't understand his answer.
You don't do it on stream. But like my issue with this is that this answer, there are so many points at which things could become catastrophic. Did
Vaush really argue for the execution? He just talked about like the calling for his execution later in the finale and denying calling for his execution earlier.
Things that bothered me a bit about his content, for sure. For one, he would engage in this weird posturing about his sexual prowess. A particular noteworthy example being the...
Oh, yeah. I see. I actually remember a lot of the stuff that I've seen in the first 10 minutes of this video.
Vaush's content.
Oh, this was nasty!
But I've never actually... I always kind of assumed it was a...
Get ready for this.
Apparently this happens pretty often. I think the most I saw this validated was when I watched his like drunk stream, and I noticed that there was like some hour-long ramble about how sexually amazing I thought it was kind of weird. But apparently, I've heard apparently he does a lot on the stream. I truly don't know, because I just don't watch his stream that much, because I don't have time to watch streams. But
wait, is this guy seriously saying that I can't get laid? Incredible! I'll give you 5,000 if you can get Poontang before January 1st. Do you have any idea who the fuck you're talking to? When I got off Tinder because of the fucking quarantine, Tacoma wept.
even like ignoring the fact that I have a girlfriend, even if we're just talking like
Oof.
randos, I'm 2 hours away right now from being inside somebody else.
Ugh, I fucking hate when men talk about women like that. I don't want to be like, I apologize for my gender, but especially men with girlfriends. I fucking hate it. That's so fucking nasty. You know, if I didn't have a girlfriend right now, dude, I could totally be inside someone's pussy in 120 minutes fucking flat. So shut the fuck up.
I have 2 skills, and it's non-monogamy and speaking publicly, okay? Do some fucking research.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
Oh, what was that from Destiny? That was, okay, I would say Destiny was half as cringe as Vaush there.
That and horsecock. Which always made me a little uncomfortable with the sex pest shit. Second, there were
What is
times
that?
where watching debates, I knew the exact lines of arguments he was going to go down because we both heard them from the same person. Destiny. This extended to mannerisms and rhetorical style a lot as well, but that was okay. I liked Destiny, I liked his style, and I liked his arguments, so what if Vaush copied him a bit? However...
Oh, hey, man. Hey, Cop the Pork Chop. How's it going? It's good to see you back on stream. We are wrapping up with Vaush and Destiny today. I don't think you were here for... Yeah, you were here yesterday for the Bernie Sanders, Lindsey Graham debate. Oh, also, can we get your... Yeah, we got chat here. Yeah, how's your night going, man? Do you know who these people are?
Things that worried me the most, and the thing that would end up being a warning sign for things to come,
Also, how's your night going?
Vaush's ego, a focus on projecting strength and an admission to
Can't, dude. I can't talk about you playing video games right now on stream.
being completely willing to use misinformation if you thought it helped.
But also, good luck.
Political end and a hand waving of having to
And thank you
answer
for tuning
hard
in.
philosophical questions and building political values up from there. Things that worried me the most, and the thing that would end up being a warning sign for his style, and I liked his arguments. So what if Vaush copied him a bit? However, the things that worried me the most, and the thing that would end up being a warning sign for things to come, were Vaush's ego, a focus on...
Nothing is going on today's news. I haven't really been paying attention to the news, but we're here with Vaush and Destiny to wrap up. This guy has written a giant shitpost on r/Destiny. It was posted on April 6th, 2022, and yeah, we're here to wrap up Vaush and on stream with Laura. I don't really want to listen to him anymore. We were gonna listen to Vaush on Tim Pool for another hour, or well, technically a half hour, but I didn't have it in me, and they wouldn't transition from topics. So we are probably going to conclude Vaush stream, or at least for now, with this.
On projecting strength and an admission to being completely willing to use misinformation if you thought it helped him reach a good political end, and a hand waving of having to answer hard philosophical questions and building political values up from there, as he acknowledges in the morally lucky argument with Rem. Something to speak of real quick about this, and I do notice this happens a lot. I talk about this a lot. I think that some people will skim like a surface level appearance, and they try to emulate that, but they don't understand why it works. So I'll jerk myself off for a second. One of the reasons why I grew in popularity in 2016, 2017 was because I was a left-leaning person who was willing to like go into like the trenches and fight like really dirty with people and like scream and shout and be like antagonistic and edgy and all that.
Dude, we looked at those old tweets. Yeah, that guy was mean to you. I tried to tell him to back off, but yeah.
But something that's really important to understand is that that was who I was.
I'm going to try and keep people polite on stream. I'm not going to ban a lot of people, but yeah, dude, I was seeing it.
And to some extent, who I still am. Like, that's like a genuine representation of what I am. I wasn't doing that to project an image, and I wasn't trying to foster or cultivate some false sense of, this is what I think a hyper-masculine debater, or this is what I think it looks like to own people. That was just like the personality that I had. That's who I was. I think that some people see the, like, what that looks like on the end, and then they try to bite that, but it's not really who they are.
I'll be right back. I'm going to leave this playing. Just going to fill my water bottle.
And they end up going overboard in some ways that ends up looking really cringe. If somebody could link me right now to the YouTube video where Vaush explains the tactical N-bomb, I would love to read that on stream. Does anybody have a link to that fucking YouTube video that I'm talking about? Oh man. So when I use slurs, when I'm talking about slurs, it's because if we're gonna have a conversation about slurs, it's really silly to say things like the F slur or the N word. Like if you don't have
Yeah, people being assholes does make people not want to talk about politics. However, everyone, almost everyone, me especially, is an asshole about politics. So it's something that you really just have to learn to tolerate and deal with. And honestly, the best thing to do is really make a game of it, because it is actually really, really fun to be an asshole about politics.
the maturity.
And yeah,
to
thank you for
even
tuning in, and thank you for putting up with it.
utter the word in a conversation, then just don't talk about it. If it's too triggering for you, but it just feels like really goofy. That feels unbelievably silly to me. I don't do it for shock value. I ban people when they make sweats. Like that's not like my goal. It's like, oh, look how fucking hardcore. It's just like we're having a conversation about these words. These are the words we talk about as we're having a conversation about them. Like that's it. Now I think Vaush though. So I think people hear me do that and they're like, oh my god, I want to say slurs like Destiny. Oh my god, it's awesome. I think people get that idea, and then I think Vaush ends up dropping an N-bomb or something in here. No! Did he delete his comment? Oh no! Hold on. There's got to be a screenshot. Oh, okay. He might have deleted his comment because I've made fun of him semi-recently, I think, for it. But this was the comment that he put underneath that video. In this video, I drop an N-bomb. A big one. Hard R. I did this to show my interlocutors that their language doesn't impress
I think I've gotten this far in the video before. I think maybe I've watched more than 9 minutes.
me. That their slurs
I kind of recognize this.
don't frighten or disarm me.
Also, this is cringe. This is so cringe. This is so fucking cringe.
You can see from their reactions that it worked. They were clearly taken aback. It was a power move, which I'm entirely unashamed of. But I understand how that language might have upset some of you.
His Vaush impression is not terrible.
This is an example of what I would call an invocation of a slur's power for good. But that's a subjective judgment. I invite you all to discuss this in the comments, critically or otherwise.
That's funny.
Okay, Chief.
We'll chief in him.
Here's
Chief
the-
in
I don't
him.
need to watch him say it, but
Yeah, I don't need to watch Vaush hear the N-word, so I say the N-word either.
Like, all right, dude. We
The power N-word.
got it. Oh, and then the morally lucky thing.
But I want to
Fuck! Why do you want to be sad boy? Doesn't link. So yeah, I think Vaush talks about like
time to justify that.
not
How did he do that?
giving a fuck about
He
understanding.
just skipped
any
out. Okay,
flaws
I thought he fucking knew what it was
or
instantly.
whatever, and then obviously that triggers the fuck out of Rem. But
He is public speaker.
Wait,
he's
okay,
on right
so
now.
wait,
there are plenty of hold on.
The receipts. The receipts. Also, how are the levels in this video? Although we're switching to different videos with different levels constantly, so it's difficult for me to pay attention to. Anyway, thank you for tuning in.
Who should be allowed to publicly speak on these matters, especially when
Okay.
everyone,
We're
people
okay.
who are even less educated and less intelligent than we are somehow, because we're very stupid when it comes to philosophy. Apparently,
See, Destiny's just playing Factorio.
this is so
even when they are out there promoting their narratives and changing people's minds, who should be able to talk?
People who have at least read the basics of ethics, as actually most
I'm
political
familiar with
science
the basics of
students
ethics.
read.
You just
Keep
said
going,
justifying
baby.
ethical
One day I'll
axioms,
be a
which you
real boy.
yourself cannot do and don't
He's
need
correct.
to do.
Do you not
because
know?
you're not
Are
a
you
public
sorry?
figure.
What the fuck are we listening to right now? So, folks, I apologize.
Do you not know the argument? No. Do you not know the arguments for and against utilitarianism?
I'm familiar with them on a basic level. If you
Right,
just,
then just
listen,
give them to me.
you just asked
Give
me.
them
to me.
You just
Oh.
asked me to justify my
Oh, hey, we got another person in the stream. How's your evening going? Where are you tuning in from? How's it going?
foundational belief.
Give,
that
give me
people should
Mill's
generally be
fucking
happy.
utilitarian
Wait, you
arguments.
stuff- Oh yeah.
Rem,
okay. So
Rem,
just
is
say
there
it. Rem,
anyone that
Rem,
you
Rem,
know- is
Rem,
there anyone
Rem,
that you know that
Rem.
can-
stop.
I don't know what that was.
Okay. With these points taken together, it means that Vaush is by default not engaging in good faith in any discussion he has. His focus is on appearing stronger than the other person, so he will never admit he's wrong in a debate because it would look weak. To the extent that he said he's willing to lie if he thinks he can get away with it, you should have linked these videos where we argue about that.
So let's say you've
Look at this.
you've popped content and it's a little misleading, a little reductive, but the message is good. It pushes people in the right direction, and at the end they have links to resources that you could read up on to be more
educated on it. Do you think that's acceptable?
So I just don't know what you mean in terms of reductive. Everything that you said doesn't sound bad. My issue right now is that
Oh, what is the definition of the right direction? What do you mean exactly by right direction? I'm sorry that I didn't catch that earlier. Oh no. What's his definition of the right direction? Yeah, I don't know, man.
I think that going forward, something that I'm trying to be very strict on is I think that it's very, very, very important to report factual stuff correctly. Because I think right now, the biggest issue that we're having probably across the world, but at the very least in the United States, is we are widening this chasm of what both sides see as reality. And that widening of the chasm, even if it's for a good cause, I don't think is good. I think at the end of the day...
Oh, what is Vaush's definition of the right direction? Oh, revolutionary socialism. If you're interested in learning more about Vaush's definition of the right direction, although not what exactly the definition of right is or how he would move in that direction, but if you want to learn more about Vaush's definition of right direction, please check out the YouTube channel that I have linked at the bottom there. Sorry, at the top there. It will show you the previous episodes of Streamer Lore, and you can learn a little bit more about Vaush's opinions. I would say, Vaush's opinions about transitioning to socialism, but we didn't get those. We didn't really get those. Even though we watched a video called "This is how I want to build socialism," I wouldn't really say we got a sufficient definition or sufficient execution plan. Anyway, yeah, please check it out. It's that top link.
I think that lying a little bit to sell a good message is actually hurting these good messages so
Right.
much, and it makes them so difficult for anybody to buy into them.
You think that if we
Nope. It's not the top link. It's the middle link. You gotta click on the middle link. I'm glad I caught that.
got rid of... So let's take the right out of this, because the right doesn't care about misinformation.
Okay.
If we took every
the left doesn't either, unfortunately, right now. But yeah.
Well, let's...
Yeah, be Vaush Streamer Lore Part 2, I think.
I think that, like, principally, the right doesn't care about misinformation. Leftists, I think, just are very good at misleading themselves.
I don't know if that's true. I think the right is the same. I think a lot of them are very good at misleading themselves. But go ahead.
Okay, well, we can discuss that. But that aside, if we were to get rid of all content which has any misleading elements for the advocacy of liberal or left-leaning politics, I think that would destroy almost everything. We would be left with NPR-style, incredibly empirical, fact-based, and dry commentary, high-level academia, accessible-only content, and maybe a couple of people left capable of threading that line.
Wait, this is a
Wait,
bad...
hold on. There are people in chat saying good. We lose if that happens.
Wait, I think that this is a bad dichotomy. You can have content that's edgy, engaging, entertaining, aesthetic, that doesn't mislead people or lie.
Yeah. Oh, wait, we have another person tuning into the stream. How's it going? I just hope both sides cool down and no one wants another Civil War. Yeah, me too, man. Thank you for following, because that's what I'm trying to bring about here. The opposite of another Civil War. Not another Civil War. Crap, I was going to say something. Oh, yeah, Destiny's completely full of shit here. Vaush, I don't want to say that Vaush is correct, because I imagine you will hate it when I say Vaush is correct. But, yeah, it's really difficult to identify what is and isn't misinformation, and you can't do it.
The expectation that even reductive content must be excised from people on our side of the political aisle.
No, I think reductive content is okay.
Well, what's the line then?
The line is when you're misreporting the facts, or if you're like completely misrepresenting something, or if you're being so reductive that you're being incorrect.
Okay, but in this case, I think incorrectness is kind of a gradient.
The rare Vaush W.
Whatever the ingredient is, we're way far away from where I would be debating the gradient. Right now, we're just like, people just report things that are just factually not true. That's my issue. Like,
sure, they do that. But, okay.
This means he's not going to change his beliefs due to any logical external challenges or any external logical challenges. Because his politics don't come from any actual philosophical grounding, they're not going to change from internal challenges. The reason I say external logical challenges is because, from what he has stated, the only reason he'd ever change his positions was if the optical pressure were so great that it overwhelmed his ego and he moved on them. I began to see...
Got another person tuning in the stream. How's it going? Where are you tuning in from? Also, you think foreign countries should mind their own business and stop commenting on our politics? Well, I'm Canadian, so what do you think of me commenting on your politics?
Which worried me even more greatly, It happened with him backing off his criticism of black supremacists initially, although he would return to that when he felt his brand was strong enough that he was strong enough to keep going on that train. And his criticisms of the LGBT community being less than human, with trans people specifically subhuman, Pepe, losers who won't change, and a community built on shared mental illness, particularly from the trans community. Oh, believe me, I know we'll get...
Click the link, click the link, click the link, click the link! Did you know that America is technically not a country? Well, I mean, the United States of America is a country. I'd be interested to hear your take.
More into that later. Oh, and this is his...
left community online.
Oh, he clicked the link, or he clicked the link in stream.
Particularly the LGBT community is cancerous as fuck. If you're not an idiot, you will agree with me on this. If you have any fucking experience with online like LGBT or leftist discourse,
Is this a 2020 take or a pre-2020 take? This tweet is from 2020. I always feel like contextualizing people's... Like, I always try and contextualize the upload dates of what we're watching, and even the upload dates of what we're watching if they're reacting to something. Technically, America is all the countries from Canada to Brazil. Yeah, America's a continent.
you know it's cancerous
America's 2 continents. You know exactly what I'm saying. I can't believe I just said that.
as fuck. You understand this. People are hyper fragile. There's
That was
a
funny.
ton.
You got me, dude. You
ton
got
of
me.
mental illness, and you can't convert these.
Also, no, it's not from Brazil. What about Chile?
People, they're not reasonable. They have to be excised from the left.
Or Argentina.
Because it's coming from dumb fucks
Argentina
who are
controls the
gay.
Falklands. I'm just saying. America does go all the way to the Falkland Islands.
Hey, what is this person says they're gay as hell? Because it's coming from the gays. It's woke now. These people are less than human to me. I have no respect for these people.
Whoa,
This
let's catch that
ton
again.
Of mental illness. Lefty is cancerous.
I know we'll get more into that later.
Oh no, he
This
clicked
is
the proper
his-
link.
Left community online, particularly the LGBT community, is cancerous as fuck. If you're not an idiot, you will agree with me on this. If you have any fucking experience with online like LGBT or leftist discourse, you know it's cancerous as fuck. You understand this. People are hyper fragile. There's a ton of mental illness. And you can't convert these people. They're not reasonable. They have to be excised from the left. And it's because it's coming from dumb fucks who are gay. This person says they're gay as hell? Because it's coming from the gays. It's woke now. These people are less than human to me. I have no respect for these people. These people are fucking disgusting. You don't need to be...
Fragile LGBT people have no place in Vaush's ideology. Okay. Oh, hey. Hail to the King 43 links a video in chat. You can check it out. I'm not really sure if we can watch that on stream. It's just a hit story of the ESRB. Oh wait, you're the guy that I was talking about the ESRB with a couple of days ago on stream. You know what? I'm kind of starting to enjoy the vibe of streaming, even though I only have 21 followers. 22 followers now. Awesome. Thank you so much for whoever followed. I thought I had 21 followers, I think, at the start of the stream. I should have gotten an alert. Strange. I don't know, maybe I fell behind. Anyway, yeah, we can't really watch that ESRB video. It's not really political. I think we can reserve it for later.
Be a psychologist to see that
Thank you for tagging me, though.
a large portion of the broader fucking...
Oh, you're not even following me.
Cancel culture input.
Do you want to watch this, man? Are you even that guy?
on shared mental illness.
Keep hating your life then, working class
This
Andy.
is particularly prominent in the trans community. If you disagree with me on this, you're wrong. I know it sounds yikesy. It happens anyway. Pretty much every time I deal with dipshits from the left that's trans girls, that I notice there's a vastly disproportionate amount of dumb fuck lefty takes in my feed coming from trans people. I don't know.
Okay, these are all cuts. These are all cuts. You might not be noticing these here, just in case. I'd just like to let you know.
Most of the time, when a wildly fucking irrational lefty comes in to make bad faith arguments against me, it's a trans person. That is a fact. If all...
It's not really that much better, though.
All of these dumb fucks recognize that I despise them and think they're every bit as detrimental to the left as Nazis are, I am doing...
Dude, wow, it's just coming out. It's just coming out fast and furious. I'm getting, you can see me getting buffeted physically by these takes.
Good. I want these people to know that they're my enemy. I fucking hate them. I really do
But they're
despise
not
them.
your enemy.
Oh, no.
Ironic that he's arguing with Doe in this video.
No idea
Yes,
who that
they
is.
are. They hurt me, and they hurt you. because
Dude, you say build a wall? Come on, man.
every time some dumb fuck trans girl on Twitter who's acting out mental illness, whining, calling people like me transphobic because I disagree with them, they're hurting the left. No, these people are ill. These people are cancer. They're subhuman. I don't care.
You don't have to do that kind of shit. That doesn't help.
Come on, dude. Mentally ill trans people are subhuman. Dude, that's like a fucking right-wing Nazi take, man. That's like that's terrible. Subhumanity is a term used so rarely in American politics, but it's good. It's good to hear it from fucking Ian here. Jeez. Come on. I will Ian you, Vaush, if you fucking call fucking mentally ill trans people what? It's not subhuman. They're subhuman, Tim, just because they're pissing him off on Twitter and calling him a transphobe.
Yeah, I'm edgy. I don't give a fuck.
It's not just you know it's not just being edgy.
Damn
Making
right.
a
Yeah,
reference
it's
to
edgy
the-
as shit.
No, making a reference to the Jewish question about
Yeah, he's
how like there's like a trans conspiracy or whatever. Like that's not just being edgy. That's like literally calling for the death of trans.
That was fucking nasty. That was fucking nasty.
You consider his take on trans athletes actually transphobic? I don't know I don't know. I only see him on Twitter like bullying trans people and like
I hate people who speed up videos, by the way. Just fucking take your time. Listen.
I only see little trans accounts like going private or like freaking out because they get like transphobes in their comment replies because Destiny quote tweeted them, and a ton of far right people follow Destiny on Twitter for like targets to like engage with. You know what I mean? I don't really know. Yeah, just I don't know. His community's gotten pretty far right. Oh, you know, Danny, or I think Synth was here, is her name. I followed her for a while on Twitter before unfollowing her because she was an insufferable like DGG stan. But then I refollowed her on stream actually because of a horse dick joke. You know, I'm consistent. Destiny like banned her from his chat a couple of days ago because she was pointing out that his behavior was attracting like a far right audience that was engaging in transphobia unironically, and she just got banned for that. Okay, am I misremembering, or did he not say like banned for posting child pornography? Yeah.
Bro, I ban half my band say ban pedophile. That's just what I put when I ban people.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because he likes calling trans women pedos. He seems to do that a lot. Or something like that, yeah. Didn't Destiny delete a ton of...
Fucking love. Oh, one of my favorite things about the left is all of them accusing each other of... This is one of my least favorite things about the left. Sorry, I didn't say that with enough fucking sarcasm. Is everyone accusing each other of every fucking form of bigotry under the sun. I'm certain that both of these people have said transphobic things before, though, but I don't fucking care that bad. Oh, no, I gotta stop looking at news notifications.
For a while,
I can
Vaush
already imagine.
defended
You don't care about transphobia?
Destiny as he might be a bit spicy, but he's a net good to the left, and it's good to criticize bad ideas on the left. Based take. At this time, behind the scenes, Destiny was reaching out personally to Twitch contacts he knew to try to get Vaush unbanned, and talking him up on his streams. This is, of course, after the initial exposure he'd already given him with multiple talks on his stream. Vaush would acknowledge at various points here of how he would not have a streaming career without Destiny, and although I of course think there's a ton of work Vaush put into his career, I think he's completely correct here. However, at a certain point, the Vaush...
Destiny, I wish we had another DGG in chat, because I've also heard Destiny claims to have made Vaush, right? And Destiny also claims to have made Hassan Piker. I recently watched that. Destiny made a video a while ago. I wouldn't say I watched it recently. I'd say less than 3 months ago about... yeah, Hassan did an interview with... It was a more mainstream video. It was like a Now This type interview with the classic 2 camera angles, face on, 45 degrees, and then, where the interviewer doesn't ask the questions, but Hassan just talks constantly, and it's B-roll of his apartment and where he grew up. It's one of those interviews. Destiny watched it. I think he claims to be responsible for Hassan's fame.
Began to grow sour. As Vaush grew, Destiny continued to criticize leftists, and the pressure grew from an increasingly large fan base for Vaush to call out Destiny. This began to happen, and to Vaush's credit here, Destiny absolutely could have responded better, and in a way that made these initial discussions more amenable and keep the bridge. However, both of them grew increasingly more heated, and the bridge became more and more untenable. This was very concerning to me when it happened. What I speculated, from what I already knew about Vaush, on his own words, was that he would never concede to Destiny, who is now an enemy, and he'd be perfectly willing to lie about him if he thought he could optically get away with it. In addition, I knew that if Destiny took Vaush to where he knew he was weak, or moral or philosophical arguments, Destiny was too good of a debater, and Vaush was too weak in these areas to come out looking good in these arguments, even if he would only choose them and try to cherry pick the max possible optically friendly arguments. This would happen with both the Kyle Rittenhouse argument and the philosophy tube and socialist hypocrisy debate. For Vaush to come out looking good in either one of these, or to even offer a coherent argument, he needed to have a consistent moral philosophical grounding that he could argue his positions from.
We're gonna stop watching this at half hour.
Which he had.
I'm too tired to comment on this properly.
Already admitted he did not. After those, I was interested in what Vaush's response would be. What I was hoping would happen would be some acknowledgement from him, even if he didn't agree with Destiny there, at least acknowledging he needed to brush up more on moral philosophy to ground his values out more, and that he'd look forward to the next opportunity to debate Destiny. Instead, what we got was the worst case scenario. He decided to start trying to dodge Destiny as much as possible while actively lying about Destiny's actions and positions, which has been demonstrated multiple times by Destiny with the help of his editor, and spinning a narrative that Destiny is spite-driven and bad faith. Wait, what is this?
If we have any mutuals who still like Destiny, that's totally cool. But I would really encourage you to like look at him the way that I do now, or I don't know.
Oh, I think Vaush has a lot of things in this
that I've pointed out. The reflexive anger and hatred towards.
It's me reacting to Destiny. It's me reacting to Destiny, reacting to Vaush.
The obsession with contrarianism.
I'm sorry, folks. We're getting too deep.
The backpedaling and the lying, but then condemning other people for backpedaling and lying, and banning people who call him out in his behavior when he does it. Because he does it a lot.
True.
And if there are any other content creators who know both of us, it's only a matter of time before he does to you what he did to like me and a bunch of
Oh, is that point? Of course I can turn him up, dude. Thank you for letting me know, dude. Bam. It's as simple as that. Consider him turned up.
Cool.
Is that better?
You can contrast Destiny in the past year reviewing Vaush's content.
Is that
to
better?
Vaush
It could be.
reviewing
I think it's
Destiny's.
way too loud.
Destiny is willing to defend Vaush when he feels he's right.
So I made this video about there was a young girl. She would have been like 18 or 19. I think she was almost 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I look a bit older than I am. I'm 28, so I would have been like 26 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
she was 23.
She was 23.
Is that better?
Producer Lordy hit me.
You got Jamie in the background there? Sorry.
Jamie's looking it up.
Yeah, pull up her wiki. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
What was the date of birth? So she was 23 years old. I made fun of her in a video, and Vaush basically said, "This is a child, and you're laughing at her." He said, "You're a groomer," right? And he goes, "You're a groomer. You're this. You're that." And then this whole thing from his audience, I didn't even see it, and these people are going, "You're a groomer. You think it's okay to groom children?" I was like, "Fucking what? What the fuck are you talking about?" I was just sitting at my home with my family, and I got like the mega shit. That's like the worst insult you can call someone, like, you know, to be involved in something so horrific as pedophilia, and then to see the shit that he's.
That is one of the worst things you can call someone, by the way. You might note how I really tried not to call Vaush a groomer or a pedophile anytime someone brought up those accusations on stream, because I'm not going through them.
Come out with over the past. Now, you have been very involved in criticism against Vaush's opinions on pedophilia, I believe. Is that fair to say?
Not actually. It's a long story. He's made like, Vaush came out of my community. I'm not sure if you're aware of that or not. He used to go by Irish Laddie a long time ago, and he was a person in my community. And there's just been a lot of like random things that have come up relating to him. I hate that I'm saying this because I shouldn't extend him any good faith whatsoever, because he's truly a scumfuck human being. I don't think he's an actual pedophile. I just say shit like that to try to fuck him.
I don't either.
Yeah. So I think he's had some like dumb quotes that are like kind of hyperbolic. Like, I want to say at one point, I hope I'm not misquoting it, but I think he said something like, if you're okay with like child slavery, like people making your clothes in China, you should be okay with like child sex slavery. And it's like, I understand what he's going for there.
I recall that clip from the Bad Empanada video.
Say that like neither of those are okay, but people took it as him saying that both were okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what a lot of the quotes are. But the only reason I have any sort of empathy for him there is that like people will do that shit to me a lot, where they'll take like one clip out of a conversation and say that like I'm pro like pedophilia, racism, transphobia, ism, whatever fucking ism they want. So yeah, it happens a lot. I'm sure it's happened to you a ton, right? Vaush discussing Destiny's content involves him lying about points Destiny's made, accusing Destiny of being insane, and saying on their face absurd reaches like Destiny had pro-trans position in the past and still does now, but he is a transphobe.
The other day, did you know, this is, by the way, I'm totally poisoning the well here, but did you know while debating with Lance was making the argument that like Google was still like...
Did I miss this video? Politics 102? Oh, no. Politics 102 was that video with the definitions in it, and I skipped around a bunch because I got I got bored.
Reactionary or whatever.
I wouldn't exactly say I got bored, but I skipped around that video a bunch.
Lance pointed out that at Google you need to get a legal name change if you're trans for your name card to be updated. So if you're a trans lady and you've got Michael on your name card, like you need a legal name change for them to confirm the change in the thing. And Destiny, I swear to God, I actually looked, I did double check to make sure it's real. Destiny, he said, is that really a big deal?
How can you wait? How can you? First of all, I wonder if you watched this whole debate. How can you summarize that so incorrectly?
How someone identifies themselves on a name badge versus a security protocol to get into the building. But once you're inside the building, is it okay to be wearing a name badge, in your opinion, that says a name that you choose, not your dead name?
I would have to know specifically, like the protocol.
What an esoteric take. So what is the resolution? You're so you're a security guard. You're a security guard whose legal name is fucking Ken, and you identify as Kendra, and you got to use your Ken card to get into the building as a security card. And this guy's asking if you can display the Kendra name tag. Fucking come on.
Of how their badges work to really like know that, because like in my corporate experience, in my environment experience at the casino, and this is all I have to go on, I could be wrong, it's probably the same scenarios, like your name badge will usually represent like areas that you can get into or not. So like the color of your badge might matter, or a symbol on the badge might matter. If that can be anything, then people would just like switch badges and go wherever the fuck they want. In that case, then no, you can't. But now if these are literally just like fucking like name tags or whatever, well then yeah, I guess you should be able to put whatever name you want on it if it doesn't mean anything. But if these badges are used to like sign into area,
you could just put your photo and your name on the ID. Could solve that problem.
Yeah, I guess, but like my guess is going to be that.
Okay, so would
once you're in the trans community, you can't leave or you will get canceled. Oh, are you speaking from personal experience there, man?
Do you then think it was kind of hypocritical for them to not allow them to do something so simple as that, and then also use like the gay logo?
Do they use their IDs to swipe in? Do they use their IDs to swipe in for access anywhere?
I don't know.
If you don't know this, then why are you... Wait, hold on. If you don't know this, why are you talking about this at all? You have no idea what you're talking about then. You understand that, right?
What do you mean?
You have no idea what you're... Because if they do use these to swipe in for things, and if these badges are like unique and important, then you would agree then that they probably should have their like state names on them.
I don't know anything about their security protocol badges. I'm talking about name tags. Like,
okay, but do they use
the emails? That's what the email sent.
But
this guy, what a dodge.
They use their name because some people have it's all built in. Like they'll have chips on their like name badges and shit, and they use that to swipe into places.
We're almost done. I couldn't skip there. I don't know why.
I don't know if people in my chat are just trying to argue or not, because I can't tell. But a lot of people in my chat, and I don't know.
Yeah, that guy dodged really hard. I don't know if it's the name tags or the security badges or the...
And I don't trust them because I know a lot of them don't like you, so they'll say dumb shit. But there are a lot of people in my chat saying that you use your badge for entry into different areas and shit. I know I got people that work at Google. I don't know if they... But like, if that is the case, then... I mean, yeah, it makes sense that they would have to have the name on their state ID or whatever federal ID that they're recognized as is going to have to be on that badge if it's used for access stairs. Otherwise, you could just start giving your badges to people and shit, and people could get into anywhere, right? This is how like, and it wouldn't surprise me if this is like standard protocol at like all like major tech companies, like.
Yeah, and in which case I would agree with you.
To be fair, this is such an... Oh, in which case I would agree with you. It's such an esoteric line of inquiry. He was totally just trying to get a gotcha there on Destiny, and that Destiny wormed his way out of it, and he was like, oh, well, I agree.
Okay, but then do you understand that you just staked out a huge position shitting on Google because of one issue that you don't know anything about?
I was Google.
This is why I call you spineless.
Right now.
Oh, well, at least it wasn't a hypothetical question.
This is not spineless. That would be ignorant. There's a huge difference. Spineless would be me being like, well, I'm just going to back up this position until the end of time, and I'm never going to.
No, but here's what you're doing. You stake out a position on this issue because it suits your ideology and it aligns you well with your ideological side, and you get all the social credit from your. I'm describing exactly what's happening. Yeah. Now I want to read more about this. After arriving on site and being issued the badge with my dead name, I noticed that there were many people on site, both cis and transgender, whose badges did not
issue the badge with their dead name.
Not reflect their legal names. I don't even know. And this was a subcontractor, I guess. With G4S. Oh, it was a security subcontracting firm, G4S. Okay.
It was a subcontractor too.
So he actually worked for security too, but Jesus, so it wasn't even Google itself. It was a subcontractor. Okay, okay, sorry. What's the...
So yeah, it was a subcontractor who was a non-Google employee, and they were a transgender person, and their name card to get on site had their dead name on it.
It's actually a security officer. Holy shit. My assertion was that if they were ID badges that were used for like secure rooms or
Oh,
secure
finally
access,
we're done. Okay, I can finally wrap up the stream.
yes, it would make sense that they would need to match like a state ID in order for them to be valid. You can't just change your name to whatever you want it to be. It's going to have to match some sort of state ID. Also, it wasn't Google. It was a contractor for Google, and it was for people working in security. They were, so yeah, this person was literally a security
Destiny's putting up some pretty reasonable restrictions there.
firm, subcontracted by Google.
Where am I about to go? Oh, well, thank you so much for asking. I'm going to go get some delicious Five Guys burgers and fries for dinner.
Contracted by Google. But like, okay. Man, what a horrible summary of that conversation. I hate how he chuckles and laughs too. Well, because he's doing the thing. This is like the ad homing part. He has to build the case against me. I guess before he gets.
Okay, we're done. I don't want to do any more of this. I'm getting a little bit heated. Okay. We've been going for a little bit over an hour and 9 minutes now. Although the first 50 minutes of the stream were crap. Five Guys definitely worth it. Oh, thanks, man. I'm glad we got a fellow Five Guys lover in the chat. Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. I know I wasn't here very long. Well, I was here for an hour, but we will be back later to play some video games. And if you want to ask me some more questions about politics, and maybe send me that. We can maybe watch that video about the ESRB. Oh no, somebody else linked that. We can maybe watch a video if you link it to the stream, and I will slap it on the E4 gameplay if it's really good. Yeah, I'm sorry. I try and only make these streams when I'm like feeling good and feeling fresh. And yeah, you can see today I was a little bit off of it. That's a shame. Although actually, this isn't going to be the stream alert finale. We're gonna wrap it up next time when we finish this video. So I guess it's not that bad that I was off. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I had fun making this. I hope you had fun watching this. We will be back later this evening after some dinner to play probably some Europa Universalis 4 for like the first time in, I don't know, like almost a month. Anyway, yeah, thanks for tuning in, and toodaloo.